So what are your thoughts so far on like the whole thing that we're going to be doing?
You know, seems kind of it's very fun. And I think
The
it's
first,
gonna be really cool as well.
yeah, I mean, we actually already recorded the first 2 episodes for this thing, and I know people aren't really sold on it yet because they don't know what it is. It's kind of like just it's not like a podcast, but it's like a kind of a. I'd almost compare it to something like a. I mean, so far the first 2 episodes aren't really. I think the first episode really kind of explains a lot in terms of who we are and stuff like that. So I think that will kind of express it a lot better than I ever could. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know what we're gonna be doing. And I mean, we already have some stuff planned for it and stuff like that. Like, if we're talking about it realistically, I think I did like the video and I did like how it turned out. The previous video that I uploaded, right? After I uploaded that, a lot of the meaning, and I think a lot of it was like lost in translation a lot. So yeah, like I said, I kind of wanted to talk about what is missing and what people didn't really understand, because there's a whole different layer to that than just the video itself. It's like a bigger thing. So what I was saying is that there's like a lot of like cryptography elements in this video that I think no one really found, and to be fair, I could have made the puzzle a lot more easier to solve. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I actually never.
Causing too much. Yeah.
No, I never asked you what you thought about the entire video thing. What do you think about it?
Right now, off the top of my head, it was really interesting. Not exactly what I was expecting, but really cool nonetheless.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be like I think a lot of people interpreted it as like being like, I tried to make it as good as I could with the resources I had at the time, because it took a lot out of me to complete it, and I would have added on to it and made it more. I would have extended on it and made it more fully featured, but I just thought it was good as the way it was, so I didn't really feel the need. I could have put more connections and stuff on to the video that would have made it make more sense and stuff, but because it was very confusing, I would say, because some of the parts which I will actually kind of touch on is the biggest probably question is, what is the whole deal with the whole like medical like why does it just become a medical tape right towards the middle of the video?
Yeah.
The answer for that is so in this sort of, which I can go on the story, I'm not like afraid to share the story, it's not like that big of a deal. Story of the video is this person, which I guess is myself in this case. Bill Cipher is doing what Bill Cipher does, and he's kind of haunting this him, and I guess he thought that he was a good target to lock onto. So he started sort of he started as just being something recurring, but he started to sort of almost materialize into the real world. And so Bill Cipher is escaping his 2D medium, and he's kind of going into the real world. That's the whole point of this video, and there's a lot of explanation. Like the analog part of the video is explaining that like analog signals allow for Bill Cipher to essentially, like, the more interference there is in a signal, the more that something like Bill can pass through it, and essentially he sort of finds a home in this tape that was was obviously this tape was recorded with the intent to trap Bill Cipher. But Bill actually was the one who wanted him to make this tape so that he could inhabit it, or almost be like, sort of go inside of it for a specific reason, because he had to conquer his two-dimensional like constraints, which is he's almost bound to the show, in the same way in the Gravity Falls show that he's bound to the town, right? He can't escape it. He's bound to the show because he has to he's constantly reliving the ending of the show over and over and over again, like this endless cycle. And so what actually happens is, so let me give you a little background. So the tape is actually recorded almost like, so basically what my character did is he recorded a VHS tape. It's the finale of the show, so he basically re-recorded a VHS tape, right? He instead used not really thinking much of it, he found, probably in a bargain bin or something, he found basically a old VHS tape belonging to who knows, right? And he basically recorded over that, which is something that you can do on VHS tapes. There's a record feature, right? So what he did is he recorded Gravity Falls onto the VHS tape, the last episode. Now what happened is, this tape was a medical diagnostic tape that he recorded over. Now what happened is, something went wrong. Now, we could think about this if it was an intentional thing or not, or it was just some sort of supernatural thing, or it was just just happened. It was coincidental, right? When he was recording over this tape, what actually happened is the tape. So there's a thing on a tape called an erase head. It's something that basically erases the contents of a VHS tape so that new things can be written onto it. As seen in the video, there's a little bit of text that appears for a short moment, which kind of showcases this, like what I'm explaining, essentially, is that there's like...
Really?
Hello?
Really?
Hello?
That showcases what you're saying? Hello?
Are you here? Oh, he's actually here.
Said it was here.
Hello? No, I didn't know that we were doing it today.
I mean, we didn't have to do it today. I just wanted to get an answer from both of you, because I didn't really...
Oh no, I'm sure I didn't know. But what's up? What did I miss?
Not much, honestly. You didn't miss a lot. I mean, mostly I was just explaining. I mean, I can explain it really quickly. Basically, I was explaining why, because we were talking about how like the reason, like, we're basically kind of, or I was kind of like just explaining what the whole story was for the video, because that kind of goes into the secret stuff that I put in the video that no one found, that I wanted to discuss because it has some relation to the Trifect. So I wanted to kind of
True.
I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit, and I know I'm not trying to make this all about myself or anything. I just wanted to talk about the video because it is important to the events of what will transpire in our new.
I was out in the laboratory, right? And I was investigating some some of the, like, that dust, ancient dust, Man, I was trying to get off the bone that I found, I found like a bone, right? And I'm assuming it's from a mammoth or some type of animal like that,
Oh, okay.
I found a bone.
Where you find this?
I'm gonna send it to I don't know. I found it in the desert that I was at.
The desert what? The desert. Oh wow.
I think I was in the desert. Yeah. I found a bone. I think it's a mammoth bone, but there's so much ancient dust on it. It's just messing up my nose. I snorted it a little bit, but just to test it out. But I think I'm gonna send it over to my archaeologist friends to investigate it more because I
True.
don't know how much I can do on that. Continue on with the lore.
Oh yeah, so I was just explaining to Legend earlier that the lore of the video. I don't want to go over the entire thing, but basically, Bill Cipher finds his way and sort of almost he kind of just materializes into he sort of manifests into the real world for unexplained reasons. We don't know why or how, but he sort of just comes into being, and so he kind of, I think it's because of the videos that this guy makes, which obviously is myself, right? I'm making videos on Gravity Falls. I have this huge thing with Bill Cipher, right? And so he starts to sort of take form, and he escapes his 2D, he was just a 2D animated character, and now he's sort of becoming real, essentially. Or he's more metaphysical, I think, in the sense that he's sort of coming into existence through his mind, sort of going into his mind. It could be also if you really want to think about it, it could be something that is psychologically
the power
enigmatic, essentially, something enigmatic that is taking possession over his mind and causing him to have this reoccurring character keep on basically haunting him for many months, almost like a year, right? And so what his goal is that he basically Bill Cipher thinks that he's almost subservient to him and that he's going to be doing his bidding, essentially. But what Bill doesn't know is that Bill requested that he would make a tape so that he can go inside this tape. He can enter inside this tape, and so that he can rewrite the ending of the show. Essentially because he is bound to he's almost in the same way that in the show he is bound to the town. He can't escape it because of some sort of universal law that surrounds the town. The weirdness is just all gravitated towards one place. And in the same way that, in his show, he has that issue. He has this issue in real life where it's a different issue, but essentially it's that there's a lot of details actually in this video that I would love to go over, like the fact that why is it a void, right? Why does Bill inhabit a void? What is the significance of that? What?
You're putting down a lot of stuff here, but according to Luke Purdy, he says Bill is basically the Dorito of Gravity Falls. So that's basically beating us on everything you're saying. That's
yes.
That's more. That's relevant. That's
it's.
I think he's getting onto something there,
Well, actually, if you read all my community posts, that there's obviously there's a lot of story there around this. One aspect of the video, which there's a lot of things going on in this video, and like I said, the whole void thing that I was just mentioning. There's a whole basically in the show of Gravity Falls, Bill inhabits a realm called the Nightmare Realm. It's not like the basically you have the Nightmare Realm, then you have the Mindscape, which I think is kind of a convergence of the Nightmare Realm and the real world. But in the show, this is the dimension that he's on, the dimensional plane that he's on. And part of that also he mentions in the show that it's a decaying dimension, that it's kind of not the whole entire dimension is decaying, it is dying. And in what we're seeing, the fact that he's in this sort of black void is because it's basically after the show ended, this almost if you think about it, almost like this abscess opened, and sort of everything inside that contained the world's fiction kind of almost like basically it all kind of imploded.
It was released.
Yeah, it was kind of just imploded, and his dimension is no longer the dimension it once was. It was just a complete blank void with blue flames everywhere. Well, not really blue flames.
Basically, what you're saying is he fell off?
Yeah.
He fell
Well,
off
it's kind of like the ending of the show created this void, essentially, that could not be filled, right? It created this void that could not be filled.
Man, I know how that feels.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah.
I very much don't know how that feels currently.
Yeah. You know, like, he's just kind of in this void or whatever, and anyway, I'm not trying to go into extraneous detail on everything, but the thing that is important is what is the meaning behind the whole medical part of the video. That feels a little weird. Like, what is that, right? The explanation I gave Legend, and I try to explain a little bit more, is that the reason why. So like how I said that Bill basically requests him to make a tape, and he thinks that he is doing this for him because he's completely under his control now. Because now he's completely given himself up to Bill, because of his devotion, him uploading all these videos related to him giving him his emotion.
Hey, I'd give up myself to Bill too.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if he was like maybe if you lost all your, he kind of is like slowly breaking him down over the months, like breaking his mental state so that he could have, and that's like an effective way of mind controlling someone, is breaking them down to their essential, to make them almost simple, to remove all that to kind of just make, you can try to say, like, he basically tried doing that, and well, he was also plotting against Bill because he knew that, he had to end this and that he had to stop Bill. So basically what he did is he did as Bill wanted to, through analog. Specifically, analog signals are mentioned because they are relevant to how Bill is able to enter and interfere. The more interference, the better that Bill is able to manipulate. He cannot, like, let me give an example. He can't go inside something like a disc or something like that, because it's not the way that the discs are read and everything like that, and the way that the digital, basically all of the things that we know probably today are digital technology, right? And in most cases, digital is basically a finite threshold, whereas analog allows everything to pass through it. It's completely perfect medium for Bill to get inside, because of what analog is able to do. And all this electromagnetic activity that Bill is causing, and everything that he's basically making in this video is causing the effects of, it's why the tape goes all weird and everything like that. But to explain everything, the reason why, and again, I know I keep on, I don't want to extend this, I know I don't want to, but basically the simplification of like what is going on is when, I guess my character, right, he was basically, he got a VHS tape from something like a bargain bin, right? And he recorded over this VHS tape. There is a record function on a VHS tape that you can use to record, and over anything. And there's a special mechanism inside a VHS called an erase head. This thing is what basically erases the contents of what is previously before on the VHS tape so that new things could be written onto it. So in this case, what he did is he got some sort of random VHS tape from a bargain bin, and by pure coincidence, this was a diagnostic tape, right? So this diagnostic tape it belonged to some sort of patient.
Right.
And what basically happened is after it was given, after it was recorded over, basically by coincidence or whatever, by some weird phenomena, something happened and the VHS tape just did not erase all the contents and the traces of it. And I guess the biggest meaning around this video is that analog is never truly erased. Like, it's all kind of once, like, it still kind of remains, right? And that's a persistent aspect that keeps on, being recurring, is that Bill is always going to relive the ending of the show over and over and over again, and there's nothing erasing that kind of legacy that was left behind that Gravity Falls had. So what happens is like I said.
Hi.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh no, someone.
Oh yeah, someone said hi.
Said hi.
Yeah, someone said hi.
Okay. I was like, wow, that was really random.
I was a little confused there too.
Okay, so basically, yeah, to explain everything, the reason why that part in the video is even in there is because the fact that he recorded over a diagnostic tape unknowingly. That kind of just the reason, again, like I said, Bill is affecting the VHS. The reason why we see all the weird effects, artifacts, everything like that is because Bill is actually influencing the tape as it's being played. And basically, my character uses some of the media functions as well, and some of the final moments. But also, Bill is using it. There's a moment where you can see that the almost like the menu that pops up when, or like the overlay that pops up when it says something like rewind. Bill, I think it like quickly turns yellow, implying that Bill is having direct access to this thing and that he is controlling it, that he has some sort of influence over this tape. But that wasn't enough for him to evade what was coming to him, right? Because no matter what, actually the real reason why Bill did not succeed in his plan is because he just burned it. He burned the tape, and that's why, if you see at the very ending, you can see in his eyes, in his actual eyes, and you can even see like towards the ending.
Plus ratio.
No, like there's a direct thing that you'll notice, that the flames that are burning at the end of the video, right? You'll notice that they're always, they're blue, right? Because that makes sense, because that's something that we see during the show itself. But actually, what you see in the reflection of his eyes, and even sort of, you see this kind of thing of where it's sort of, you get what I'm trying to say. Basically, the contrast between the blue flames and the red flames is that the red flames are what is happening in reality. They're the real world. Because this tape is actually being physically burned. He's not just being burned in the VHS. He's being burned in real life. He's being erased from the tape by fire. Almost like a trial by fire. He's getting himself purged. And yeah, there's a lot of secrets in this video, which I would like the layer. Like, there's a lot of layers that go into this, such as the, yeah. Well, you guys have any questions or no? Am I talking too fast or what?
I have one question.
What's your question? Sorry, I'm trying to condense my information because it's very...
Going to Mr. How to Crack, whatever it's called. He says, two things. He says, Bill Cipher is OP. Do you believe he's OP?
What do you mean by OP?
Either he meant One Piece or overpowered.
I'm pretty sure he meant overpowered.
He could have meant One Piece.
I think someone made a video on that. I think it was Nuxtaku or something. From what I remember. I think he discussed it in more depth, and he did a better job at explaining it. So maybe you could watch his video. I know he talked about why, like, Bill Cipher is like a very good OP villain, and like he's the best well-written one. And I think I agree on that. I think he's a very good OP character. So yeah, I think he's OP, but he has limitations. He's not like, you can't. I mean, obviously we saw him at the end of being defeated. He's not an impossible villain by any means. He's not. I wasn't really. I think towards the ending of the series, he actually became more intimidating than how he was initially, which I like about his character. He kind of had a tonal shift towards the end, and it was like he was kind of hiding his true self in the episode. You know, when he was just facing off against, Seuss, Mabel, Dipper, it wasn't a big thing, right? Because he knew that they were kids, and
Here's the second question from Mr. How to Craft. It is, did you see Bill Cipher's backwards message? I don't know what that meant or what he means by that, but one of the messages, I guess.
Bill Cipher's backwards. What are you talking about?
Backwards message.
Oh yeah.
One of them. I don't know which one he meant, but he meant one of them.
Yeah. I know a lot about the show. Okay.
Yeah.
If I could make an
There's a lot of-
iceberg, I would.
Did he mean in your own video? I don't know.
Wait, what?
Like, of course, you would know there's a backwards message in your own video. I don't.
Oh yeah. So the backwards message. Actually, that is if no one didn't know, that was actually me doing that. Like a whisper at the beginning of the video. Basically, yeah, you can reverse it if you want to. Basically, what it says is 555 square. And that was part of deciphering the code. Again, no one actually deciphered it. Yeah. There's a person that usually was able to like decipher, my meanings, but it's a little bit harder this time because I actually put effort into the cryptography. I actually wanted it to be very good. Like, I like when cryptography is done well, and it's not just like putting it into a base 64 decoder. I like when you have to figure it out and you have to solve it. So I did a lot of that. Wait, what?
Luke Purdy is back.
Okay.
I thought he said.
That's what he said. Also, who was the person that would normally decode your stuff?
I forgot what his name is, but I think he had like a Sans profile picture. I could be wrong.
Of course, he had a Sans profile picture. He's the decoder. He is on the next level that Sans is.
He is the guy. He speaks for the. I don't know what Sans is. I never know what the AUs are. Like, I know there's Underfell, the Blueberry one, the
Underswap.
I don't know anything. The only Deltarune AU I know of is the one by that guy. What's his name? Pip something.
Under Space Tail.
Pip.
There's
the Pip one. I forgot what it's called.
The Dusty one. There's the
How do you know this? How do you know this? How do you know this?
How do you know this?
There was a Sans. I think I did.
Oh, Underswap. I actually know about Underswap.
I did say Swag Sans, right? That was a Sans.
Oh, Swag Sans. I don't know. I think that's Undercool.
Yeah.
What is that?
Undercool. Yeah. What else? I got them on the tip of my tongue. Hold on. I got you. Hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue. There is Reaper Tail.
Reaper.
Okay.
There's
the Space Tail. There's a lot of tails, and I'm about to get into them. I'm looking through the list just for you guys. I know everyone wants to hear this.
A fatal error has occurred. Accusion tail, active flirt, aftergrave, aftertail black, afterthought, akin tail, alive, all good things, all we left unsaid, alliance tail, all tails, alpha rune, alpha tail, alpha sin the queen, alter dune, alter destiny, alter geno, alter tail has been taken, allogram, or amalgam, an alter tail, another take, apple fell, a reference to error, arson fell, ask Frisk and Company, ask Glitch and Squid, ask Mercy series, Ezreal tail, as Undertale, asylum tail, but this is Black Rose's 113's edition of it. AU verse for lockdown, AU verse chronicles, axe tail, that's the A's. Barrier blocks, beastly underfell, beast tail, biotail, blind art, blizz tail, moon, blood moon.
Okay, I don't think we need to go through all the tails. There's a lot of tails.
Bowser's Cavern Conquest. What does that mean? I don't know. Broken tail, brotherhood, button tail, canine tail, caretaker of the ruins, Sufficient tail, changing the story, carrot tail, tinsel tail, cocoa tail, cocoa book, Christmas party, chrono tail, CNS tail, cold tail. I guess they're a little more chilly then. Commentary tail. What the? Okay. Core tail, coronation, corrupted file, craft tail. That's Minecraft craft Undertale. Craze tail, priest tail, creator tail, crimson hunt, crimson tail, crystal tape. Damned monarchy! Dance tail, that's what they dance. Dance tail, they dance. Okay, anyway,
Heartbound, is that one of them?
Fearless wingdings, death tail, deeper down, definitely not Delta Room. What? Defragmentation, Delta, forget to that. Delta Room, Delta Traveler, Demon Hunter tail, Desperate tail, Desperate Times, call for desperate measures, Death tail, Death tail, detail. Okay. Devoid tail, differ tail, dagger! Exclamation point tail, disbelief, Dow's flame, dragon tail Z. Okay. Dreadnought, dreamborn.
Is that like Dragon Ball Z?
Dream tail, dreamer reborn, duo tail, dust tail, dystopic fate, echo tail, ender tail, endless route, entity neo, epic tail, erasure inverted, arrow tail, internal starvation, EUC, evertail, traction tail, faith tail, roadrunner, fallen brothers, fallen flowers, fallen stars. Okay. That's a weird trilogy. Far away, standing near, fate tail, set, fail, swap, X, fail tail. Final Tragedy, Floor Fisk, Flower Tale, Flower Pop, Flower Melody, Flowery Garden, Flower's World, Floral Tale, Folk Tale, Freaky Tale, Pre-Boot, Frisky Caretaker, ooh, Frog Tale, Fun Tale, Fusion Tale, Gasser Bros, Gasser Gang Bang, Genetic Tale, Gen Tale, Ghost Switch, Ghost Tale, Glamour Tale, Glitch Reset, Glitch Tale, God Save the Queen. What? Godverse, Goopy Tale, Great Tale, Hacker Tale, Handplates and Dog Tags, Hate Tale, Haunted Hearts, Heaven Tale, Help Tale, Continue Hidden History Recast, Hollow Tale, Honesty, just called Honesty, Hope Tale, Horror Rune, Horror Swap, Horror Tale, Habuchu Tale, Howling Tale, Hunger Swap, Hunger Tale. If Undertale had a flirting route, I don't like the sound of that. If Undertale was realistic, I like the sound of that. Immortal Tale, Infinite Tale, Ink Tale, Interloopers, Inverted Fate, Iron Tale, Island Fall, Japira Tale, what? Jester, Judgment Tale, Jumbo Joe, hey, Jumbo Tale, Card Case, Kaiju Containment. Hold on, it's loading. There's 2 pages to this. There's 2 pages, there's probably more. Kino Tale, Kindred Spirits, Kingdom Come, Kimi Tale, Lantern Day, Lose Tale, Life X Tale, Light Resurrected, Little Tale, Lock Tale, Long Tale, Lost, Luxray Tale, Magic Tale, Magic Tale, Magic Tale, Majora Tale, Making a Name, Mana Tale, Marlet, Mayhem Memoirs, or Memoirs, Mega Tale, Metal and Magic, Metal on the Underground, Meta Tale, Mission, Mama, CQ, Mama Tale, Monster Friends, Monster Tale, Mook Tale, Mother Tale, My Lord Tate, Mysterious Tate, Mega Tale, okay, Negative Tale, New Prophecy, Night Orchards, Nightmare Story. I think that's already a game, but whatever. Oh no, it's Little Nightmares, never mind. Nightmare Tale, Noctis Imminent, No Logic Tale, okay, Nix X Tale, Ocean Tale, Off Tale, Omega Timeline, Poppy Story, Once Upon a Time, Only Funny.
One eternity later.
All right. Well, I guess it's just. I mean, how long do you think we could go? Like, I don't want to drag this on too long. How long do you think we have until you want to depart?
I'm good for however.
Okay, I'll just do a little bit. Like, we'll do a little, go on for a little longer, because I felt like, I mean, not put a damper on things, but I'm sure it'll work out with him. You know.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And if that happens to someone like, if that happened to you, you would understand like how that's a little bit. But anyway,
I don't tend to work with people and projects.
Well, you're like a self-made person, right? You draw your own art. You don't have to worry about that as much. And I feel like to an extent I am, although I do rely on other people for my art and stuff sometimes, because I'm not an artist by any means. I mean, I create stuff, but I'm not an artist. I mean, sometimes I can draw, but it's not really equivalent to a real artist. So, yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, is there anything that you're working on or have anything of mention? Because he just mentioned his project, so I was wondering if you had anything.
At the time, a commission sheet.
Do you have any? Do you have an image of that?
I could very interesting.
I could put it on sheet.
Not at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Not at the moment. It is.
Well, I assume Twitter, right?
It's not just an. It'll be on everything, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to check out, I think you can click on his channel. So in the title of this video, there's a link that you can click on. It's like a little @ thing that you can click, and basically all of his stuff is there. If you had a link tree, I would link it, but yeah, all of his stuff is there. His Twitter and everything like that, if you want to go see it. I don't know. I mean, if anyone, I'm sure there's different creative types in the audience, so maybe they would, like that kind of thing, like art and stuff. Not everyone likes doing that, but or likes following that kind of thing, but yeah, he does have a Twitter and stuff. You can go check out stuff. So yeah, and also we're going to be working more closely together with the Trifect, which hopefully doesn't burn in flames like his project is right now. Or Dr. Basketball, he has this project that he's his struggles he has to figure out. And yeah, we've hit a bit of bumps in the road, but I think we're getting there, right? We're actually having our first stream
I think
now.
we're doing fine.
We're having our first stream now, and we're even going, and so much stuff I've actually plotted out for this series, and I put a lot of time into making it. I try to, everyone else here has the same amount of stake as I do in this thing. We're all working on it. It's like a collaborative effort, really. So yeah. If you have anything else to say, I'll just go on to explaining this little thing for a second, because it is important that I kind of go into it a little more. Because this is the decoded text for the ending credits, which I think I might be able to put on the screen, what it looks like. But yeah, it's basically the ending credits. So yeah, do you have anything else to say?
No, that's it.
All right, so you guys see this text on here. It's been here for a while. I know this is, this stream is incredibly scuffed because I don't know how to work stream elements and stuff. And I'm not very good, and also my connection's not that great. But hopefully it hasn't lagged too much. I try to put normal latency and make it better. But anyway, so yeah, on the screen here we have the text. It's available here. You can see it. You can read through it, but the most important aspect I think of this is the last line, which you can read. Wait, hold on. Let me. I can't even see it myself. Let me enlarge this. All right. Oh. Alright, so it says, so you can read in the last line, it says 3 bricks to build something unconceived. So what remains against the debris, 3 bricks to build something unconceived. This is referring to something that we'll see later on. So basically what this is in reference to is Bill Cipher, right? He got gutted in his stomach, and now what remains of him is 3 bricks. These 3 bricks are important because they serve as almost the start of what the series, like kind of an introduction to the Trifect. And sorry, yeah, what I mean by this is like, it's the introductory, like what you're going to be seeing when you, or not seeing, but like, it's sort of the branching pathway to kind of get to apologies, hold on. All right, it's basically the sort of the okay, so what happens after Bill Cipher gets burned in the fire? All that remains of him after all of this is that there's 3 bricks that remain, and they are going to be building something that we have never yet before seen. And this thing kind of goes into the Trifect a little bit. I'm not going to explain everything around what this exactly means in full, but basically the 3 bricks are almost representative of what basically, if I were to put it simply, there are 3 main members that we see in this Trifect, and that number is significant because it's called the Trifect. So you have 3 bricks, which is of Bill, his remains, and this somehow is going to come into the Trifect, which I know why it's important. I'm not gonna divulge everything because I want to save it for when we actually see it in a series. But yeah, these 3 bricks are almost representative of the 3 people that make up this larger thing known as the Trifect. The Trifect is not just the series name; it has an actual. There's actually something in the series called the Trifect. It's not just a name for the series. It has an actual significance behind it. There is something greater to be fathomed than what just appears on the surface, right? So yeah, this is what we can kind of get from the description, and I think you get it. It's just, if each of these things are supposed to be delineated as something that we'll see in the Trifect, at least. Now, I will admit that the Trifect is completely different, right, than Gravity Falls. It's not something that is related to Gravity Falls at all. It's kind of out there in terms of what we're going to be presenting. But there is one thing that you might like about the show, and the fact that even though it's like Gravity Falls, it's something different, and it's something that kind of almost like a lot of ways you can see a lot of things that are in Gravity Falls that are in this show. So it's not a lot of the qualities that you might like in Gravity Falls kind of come into this show a lot, because I love Gravity Falls, and a lot of what I have created here definitely goes into the camp of it being, obviously, it's no, I wouldn't say it's inspired by Gravity Falls, technically speaking. I'd say that it does, it's kind of, because I like Gravity Falls and because that's changed a lot about my own taste and stuff, it has kind of affected how I write stuff and how I create stuff. So a lot of ways it's not like it's not like I would say based on the show or anything like that, but it does have like you can see where elements of Gravity Falls kind of bleed into our show, right? You can see where that kind of thing of the whole, like, there's a lot of mystery, even though it's not a mystery, or our thing is not a mystery, there's a lot of mystery and definitely a lot of peak of the curiosity that you'll see during episodes, and it will definitely spark not everyone. It's, again, I'd say it's not for everyone. If you don't like original stuff and you more place your security in things that are like real television series and stuff, you might not like this show because it's something that is kind of unconventional to media that we've come accustomed to over the years, which is like television. It's not like a YouTube Red original, but we're trying to make it as good as we can. YouTube Red is not even around anymore, right? So
it's called YouTube Premium now, but yeah. Or YouTube Originals, I suppose.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. It's the series in a lot of ways is going to be. It's going to be breathed by our own, what we like, right? Like what we like in media. Like a lot of the things I've based it on is everybody in the Trifect. A lot of the reason why I made choices and writing decisions is because I wanted it to appeal to the people that are in the Trifect or that are part of it. So it's stuff that we all kind of maybe like, and stuff that we're more drawn to and stuff. So yeah, I think everything and all and how everything has been with, me explaining it, I know I'm not doing it as much justice, but I try to. It's something that is, I think in a lot of ways it's like my Gravity Falls project I did. There's a lot to it. It's very involved, but it's not going to be as off the rolls crazy as it was as you saw it. Because I know it drew a lot of people away because it was very, it feels very weird and almost misplaced. So I really do hope that you guys will enjoy it as much as I enjoy making it, and with everybody, like with you guys. And also there's I think we've been doing the episodes kind of live in the server, so we do have a server for that. If you want to join, it's just, I think it's just discord.io/Trifect, I believe.
Like that, I believe so.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good if you want to give it a watch when it comes out. Now, I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a separate channel for this stuff. We're going to have a dedicated channel to the Trifect. So we're going to have this. Like I said, we're going to have a channel that is going to basically have all the episodes up there for you to watch. But in the meantime, I am going to basically post a few of the episodes on this channel. Just a few of them. We're in the works of making a new channel, which I'm going to try to post basically what I think is going to happen is we're going to have our own dedicated accounts. Currently, Dr. Basketball doesn't really have an account that I can a link to or have mentioned to. So what I think is we're gonna create an actual account for him, or maybe he's gonna be able to provide us one that we can use. And so we're all gonna have separate channels. And I think what we might do is we might do a thing. Well, I haven't really figured this out yet. I haven't discussed this yet with any of them, but I'm just gonna say it now. I had an idea, and again, it might not work out because I know we all have different. We might not want to place our own we don't want to mix up our videos on our own channels with different content that might not suit our channels. But an idea I wanted is maybe we can all have either a centralized channel or post each episode. Like, for example, on the Legend or on like Dr. Basketball's channel, we can post episode 1. On Legends channel, we can post episode 2. So it's like a thing that you can continually watch and redirect just traffic to different channels, so that it's not just a main channel. But we might want to do a main channel because it makes sense to just have one channel just
More
for
convenient.
Yeah,
I would say.
but I don't know if we want to do that. We can also do that. I think that's a good idea because it kind of gives us all, like it all kind of builds us our own like, it doesn't feel like there is one channel that is the center of everything. It kind of allows people to visit other channels to get the other episodes, and we can have like a playlist for all of them or whatever. Or we can have like a premiere thing where we do both of that. We can do, we can discuss this endlessly, but yeah, it's probably going to be on like a dedicated channel that you can watch. But I'm going to post some of the episodes on my channel. I think what we might do, and this is what I thought, is whoever is actually behind the production of the episode should post it, right? Because I feel like that makes sense. Like if I'm editing the first episode, post it on my channel. If Legends editing one episode or doing the post-production or whatever, he might post it on his channel and whatnot. And I know it might not work out, but we're trying to figure things out. So we'll consider different options and stuff, what we can do. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, the whole reason why the whole message that is in here is important is that it kind of, like I said, makes puts sort of a emphasis on what you might come to expect from us in the future. There's a lot of, not this puzzle solving. No, this puzzle solving, it's not gonna be too maybe I don't know if there is gonna be any or not, but it's not gonna be like this. But what I mean by that is like I think I'm trying to set the stage here with what you might come to expect, and so by kind of having it Gravity Falls be the bridge here for our series, and kind of explaining like what is these 3 bricks, what are they important, why is it important, is Bill gonna play a factor in this story? No, but maybe he will, who knows. Is there gonna be a sort of reason why we're all like who am I, right? I'm Master Tristan Mousegard, right? Who is Legend? He's the Crimson Legend, right? And we're gonna explore, we're not gonna just explore us, we're gonna explore our own characters and what that means, right? For a bigger, an encompassing, I don't know, like an encompassing story or whatever that kind of includes all of us in the picture, and that we all kind of have our time to show off our own characters. Well, actually, mine's not an original character, which will be explained, hopefully. That will be explained. I use a character known as Kumon. He's a Japanese mascot. He's free to use, though. He's not exactly public domain, but he is able to be freely licensed, and no copyright issues arise from that. He's able to be used from the Komodo Prefecture of Japan, right? So yeah, he's like a little mascot boy owned by the government in Japan. And Legends character, he's completely original. I don't know, he exists. He's red, or he's crimson, I guess.
I am red.
And he's kind of cool. I mean, he has like, we don't know what he doesn't know and what he does know. He probably has some sort of, oh yeah, he has don't you have like some sort of elemental ability or something? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure on that. Or no? You can't make fire from your hands or anything?
I mean,
You can't just do. You can't just make. You can't just make that from thin air, and Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm sure we'll see that in the series. Maybe, possibly. And we all have our own little quirks that we. I mean, I don't have any, but everybody else has their own little quirkiness to them. Their own little. I don't know how. I mean, I look pretty big compared to Legend on screen right now, but I don't know. I'm either really big or like very small. I don't know. You'll have to see what our proportions look like in the actual series, because we're gonna go into more detail with our characters and not our characters, but like our avatars, right? Avatars are going to be an inclusion of the overall experience, I think. So you'll be able to see what I mean by that. It's going to be grounded in a lot of our own passions that we like, or like things that we like to talk about. I have a lot of topics that we're going to be discussing. The first one I think is animation, so we're going to be going over and discussing animation. So that's going to be fun, I guess, for the very first episode of the Trifect. We've already recorded it, but it's going to be coming out. I don't know. I wasn't in charge of that whole production. I don't know who's going to take it. I would rather take it, but I don't know. We'll see. Depending on how much time we have, I might actually have to take that over, because I need to be active with this project, and I want it to do well. So is there anything that I don't know. So yeah, pretty much there's a lot of secret codes in the video. There is a resolution that you can kind of get to Bill's story in this video if you look for it. If you take all the information I've said from this stream and you apply it to Bill Cipher, solving the Bill Cipher codes. I will admit they are pretty hard. You have to go very frame by frame to find it. You have to decipher it. You got to write everything down. It's not a fun time, but I think once you do it, you'll get what you want. You'll get Bill's final declaration on, or like proclamation, right? On I don't know what he thinks of me, or what he thinks of anything, really. So we'll see. What will come out of this, and what this will fruit. But I don't know. I don't want to keep anyone here for like too long. I know we've gone for a little bit of time. I mean, I could still go on longer, but I just feel like I don't know what I would talk about. What do you think, Legend? It's unrelated to anything that we're talking about, but I just thought it was interesting. What do you think of the first off, what do you think of like the whole direct that happened, Nintendo Direct?
That it was interesting to say the least. I like Bowser's voice.
Oh, Bowser!
I like the animation, of course. The animation was, it was above what Illumination can usually do, actually.
Well, I think it's because they actually didn't make it cheap. They actually tried to do something.
Yeah, they actually tried to. Yeah.
I will say, okay, so when I first heard Bowser, I wasn't immediately like. Yeah,
it was a little.
It was hard to adjust to. But then again, we've heard him talk.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, but like we've heard Bowser talk in Sunshine, so it wasn't anything that I wasn't like. Like Bowser has talked before, but I just feel like it didn't really it didn't really set in until later on, where I was like, okay, I see it. I see Bowser. I think it's just because Bowser is often like. He's very like reserved kind of, and only makes like he's very like, I feel like he's very calculated, but he's very like he doesn't really speak a lot. We only see him say like grunts, or like kind of like Mario. Mario doesn't say a whole lot. He has a few voice lines in the games, talking whatnot, but he's and something I realized is, how like everyone's saying that like he should be voiced by the original voice actor.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have worked with the movie, because everybody else.
It would have been very. Yeah.
It would have just been little like every other voice actor just wouldn't mesh. I think with him being. So I kind of understand it like a little bit, because I feel like having this like Italian kind of like over, like a very Italian accent. That might not be, like, obviously clarity is a big thing about voice acting. People will have to make sure that things are clear to people, and not everybody is, some people hear things differently, and a lot of accents might be a lot harder to understand because like if people are just like English speaking or whatever, they might not understand the accents of various people. And I'm not saying like his accent isn't hard to understand. It's pretty, but like I just feel like it wouldn't work for doing like if Mario was talking like very like for like long periods of time, I feel like it wouldn't work as well. Like I feel like it works in short bursts, and that's what is good about the voice, is that it's like very like it isn't too like it's not like Mario having a whole monologue. It's sort of very, it's welcome because it's not as I mean, I don't think the voice of Mario is grating at all, but I just feel like it wouldn't work with all the other casting members,
well with the other voices.
Because they're all kind of very, I don't know, the casting members are just like, everybody that was in the cast was very like expressive, and it's hard to hear the emotion in Mario. Well, actually no, you can hear a lot of the emotion in Mario's voice a lot of the time, but it's a lot harder when it's like when we don't really get much. I don't know, I just feel like it would have worked with his characterization in the movie a lot better. But yeah, I think Jack Black's voice is pretty good, and all the other characters, they sound pretty I mean, they're I'll have to wait and see if it's gonna be good or not. But the one thing that I was really surprised by was not only like the whole thing that it looked really good, but also do you notice the penguins there or not?
Yeah, I did.
Those are literally just an enemy, or not an enemy. They're a character in Super Mario 64. Like they're just like a little penguin in the game.
Yeah.
And they made an entire kingdom around. Like they just made an entire, which I think is really cool because it kind of conceptualizes that all the characters in the world are like a part of a bigger, like almost a bigger ecosystem, and like there's a lot of different civilizations. It's really interesting because it's like, it also kind of felt like very Mario Galaxy by the visuals, like Bowser's ship. I don't know if it's a ship or like an island or whatever, a floating isle, but it was like really cool. Really also the voice, the person who did Kamek was pretty good. I don't know if you know who he's like the little wizard guy.
Yeah.
Is he not Bowser's dad, or am I just misremembering? Like, didn't he raise Bowser?
He adopted, he raised Bowser.
Yeah. It's really weird. There's like a lot of things in the, like, I feel like Mario oftentimes isn't not really attributed for having its great lore, but I think it actually does have a lot of things that people kind of miss about it. I mean, I don't know a lot about Mario, I'll be honest. I haven't played a lot of Mario games, aside from, like the basic mainline ones that most people have played, but I thought it was interesting. And also I think there's like Pikmin recently. There's like everyone was excited about that for some. I don't know anything about Pikmin. I know that game was in development for a very long time though. So yeah.
In development for almost 10 years. I'm excited because I'm a personal big fan of Pikmin.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, there's like a new Sonic game as well, because I think it's coming out. I don't know what it is. Sonic something? I forget.
Yeah.
Sonic game. I know this is an animation related channel. I mean, there's been little animation news, to be honest with you, that I've seen, that I've been actually looking forward to. I mean, aside from, a Mario movie is animation, so that is something. But in terms of the world of animation, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Have you seen any new shows that are actually good, or? Because I feel like it's been a drought of like, or at least I haven't been looking in the right places.
There was Comic-Con the other day, and there was Disney Expo 23 the other month. Mm-hmm. Comic-Con, they showed a new season of Owl House.
Oh, that show. Yeah, I'm not really too. I mean, I've heard people say it's good or not, but I'm not like too interested in it. The thing is I so the term for it is like an isekai, right? Like for like an anime, but that's the only term I know how to describe it. I think there's another. I think in English there's a word for it. I don't know what it's called, but it's like where a fictional character goes into the real world, or like goes into a fictional world. I do not like those kind of stories. I'll be honest. Like, I think I saw a little bit of Amphibia, and I thought that was good, but I just don't like that. I don't like that storytelling where they have it like the character goes into goes into the demon realm or goes into the whatever, the whatever place, the Amphibia. I don't know. Maybe everyone else likes that thing and they like it a lot, but it's not I'm not a huge fan of in those kind of genre. Because I do think it kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of trying to make a story that's very compelling and I think it does work. Like depending on what we're talking about, I think isekais do work well. But there's been so many isekais lately. I bet the Mario movie is going to be an isekai. Like, I bet it's going to be like, oh, plumber...
something like that.
Real world plumber goes into fictional, or, I don't know, fictional world, or whatever. Or not fictional world, but like, fantasy genre, something like that. And that's, like, fine, but I just feel like it doesn't work for a lot of things. And isekais have to be well written to work. And if you don't have a good foundation, it's not going to work for the story. And that doesn't turn me off, because, like, you still have the characters and everything. But I don't know if I'd be interested in a lot of like the world building is really a character to me, like to myself. Like whenever I see like world building of a show, like it's the characters kind of are one thing, but the world itself to me is just as important as a character is. So if I'm not really invested in the world, why would I be invested in these characters? Because if the world is as fabric as the characters, then the characters are just as fabric as the world, because they are formed by something that isn't good. You know what I mean? We're expected to believe that these characters exist in this world, and it just doesn't always work. And so yeah, I think I'm a little bit drawn away from those kind of things, but I have given it a little bit of a chance, those two shows a chance. I think it's interesting. I don't like the whole like wizard or not witch aspect of it, but I do like some of the like the visuals are really interesting. Like the art style's kind of interesting. I heard people say that the first episode of Owl House, or the first season of Owl House, is not as good, which is weird to me, because didn't you say that there's a second season, or no?
Third season.
Oh, a third. Yeah, someone said it like the first season is like not that great, which I don't know if that's true or not, but like, yeah, I think it picks up out of the second season. The coolest character to me is Bellows. He looks pretty cool. I like his design. He's really interesting. I like that kind of villain.
Surprised you're not into the character called King.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I know Alex Hirsch plays him. I'm not. I mean, what do you expect? He is literally it's his girlfriend. Like the person who creates that show is his girlfriend. I'm not surprised that he voices a character in it. It's not something. I mean, King is actually pretty cool. He's pretty cool as a character. I do like him. He's interesting. He's kind of that like endearing kind of. There's a lot of charm to him. I feel like as a character, like he. But yeah, there's a lot of other stuff. I mean, oh yeah, did you hear about the whole like AI thing? Well, I guess this is unrelated, but this is like with artists.
Yeah.
The whole like
they said that
AI is.
They said that
an AI related art contest, yeah. No, I just found it interesting because
they said some AI is taking over concept artists' jobs.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like. I mean, okay, I think we'll eventually get to this, like, when we talk about it in, like, an actual Trifect episode. But I do have thoughts on, I probably have different thoughts on creative art and stuff like that, and what I think of it, and what I think of art in general. And a lot of it, like, when we're talking about, like, AI and stuff, like, I think the reason why I was so interested in it is because it started an interesting, like, I feel like people started kind of, questioning their kind of like, what does it mean to be like an artist? Can an AI take over an artist's job or whatever, whatnot? Obviously, no, it can't, right? An AI can't replicate an AI can make good things, but the only thing that it's missing is a clear, I guess you could achieve something with tuning. Like, if you tune the AI a specific way, you could probably achieve something that you want. I don't think it's going to replace people, but because there's a human element in art that you can't remove, right? There's a human element in art that makes it so that you can't.
It has started replacing some jobs.
I mean, it
Even
could.
voice AI was used in.
But
some,
is that an
some?
Do you think that's an issue, or do you think that's just the course of time? Because
it's more like saving.
We live in a
money.
time where we have I have the ability to stream right now. We live in that kind of time, right? And there's a consequence for having these luxuries and having these things that we have, right? We can't just not acknowledge that we live in the we choose to live this way. We choose to live in a digital world, right, where AI exists and all that other stuff exists. And I'm not saying I think it's good that it's going to replace people. I don't think that's good, right? I think people. I think people should be able to make money off of what they want to do or do whatever they want to do. But I think a lot of art has, to me anyway, and I feel about art is like I said, I'm gonna get more into this in an episode because I am a little bit of probably have a contra-wise angle of how I want to perceive everything towards maybe you do, because you probably are an artist, so you have a different idea around what you think art is and stuff. I do too. I have a little bit of a.
Wait. I think the stream ended.
Is it back? Am I good? It says.
The stream just abruptly ended.
Oh, is it ended?
Yeah, it ended.
Weird. It says it's live for me, so I don't know. Try refreshing.
Let me check on my phone.
Ooh, I haven't checked out the stream at all, so I don't know.
It says, yeah, it's stopped for some reason.
It says it's live right now. I don't know. All right. Well, I think I should probably go. I think we should probably go or end it up because I really don't know what to say or whatever. It's really. I don't know. I feel like I have to carry the conversation.
It has been. Yeah.
I just don't know what to say. I'm not a very good. I like when it's the three of us because we have kind of easy way to. I'm not saying you can't create a conversation, but it's just I don't know. I feel like I just don't know what to say, but I guess it is my channel, so I do have the sort of responsibility to talk a lot. But I'm not that kind of. I'm kind of more of I'm better at react, and I think we're both similar in that way that we're not as good as maybe talking on our. I'm not saying you aren't good at talking. You definitely are, but at least the way I see it is we're not as good at maybe holding a conversation or by ourselves, right? When which just because it's there's only two people and I'm more of react. I'm more of a reactive person. I kind of respond to what people say, and that's how I am. I'm more of a I try to I'm reciprocal essentially. I don't know if you are. I don't know how you talk. I'm sure you might be the same way too, where when you're trying to talk and stuff, it's you don't know what to say. You kind of rely on the other person to have a strong what is it? You rely on the other person to have their own constitution and do speak, right? And when they're not speaking, it's hard for you to try to talk, I guess. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. I think we just need to get better at communicating. That's just the thing that we should work towards. Is just getting better at communicating. Because I know we're good at communicating when we're just privately in a call. But I think we just need to get better at doing it like because
Right.
I know this is new because we're getting used to like talking and stuff on like a live thing, but I did notice that with the other episode. Like I feel like we didn't conversate as much. Like it was kind of just each of us separately talking in isolation, and I feel like we need to be more unified as like as talking. So yeah, I think that, but I think that's pretty. I think all that what you mentioned, like I had no idea that there's a whole con thing going on or anything. I didn't even know that was still happening because of the world event that happened. But I'm sure that's probably it's probably subsided right now, and it's not as prevalent as it once was.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think we've been going for an hour. By the way, I'm
so
recording this.
I commented on the live stream. So
Yeah, what about it? Oh, you commented?
it doesn't seem like it's I think it's just the live stream went offline.
Oh. Well, what I was going to tell you is I'm actually
Oh.
recording this as well as streaming it, so I will be able to re-upload this after I'm done. So, or after we're done.
Alright.
So even if the stream gets like lost,
Maybe
wait, what?
yeah, maybe cut down on those little Undertale stuff just a little.
Yeah, the Undertale. Yeah, actually, I have a software if you want to use. Like, it's actually pretty interesting. So there's two softwares I found, or one of them is just like a script. And basically, what it does is it combines two pieces of footage, and it doesn't have to re-encode it. Like it's like instant. Like there's also another. It's called lossless cut. It's like on GitHub, so it's like open source. You can read the code. It's not like a virus or anything. It's on GitHub, and you can download it. It's literally just a lossless cutting tool. So you can cut a clip, and it losslessly. It doesn't take the amount of time that you have to do in editing. It's like instant. It's like because it's losslessly doing it. I don't know if you know what that means, but like losslessly just means that it's not like directly re-encoding the footage. It's not losing any data. It's essentially just reorganizing it and redoing the footage over. So yeah, if you want to use that, that's pretty cool. It might save you on editing. I don't know if it's like cutting is a huge, downside of your editing or anything, or joining footage is but it definitely does save some time because you don't have to go into the editor and do something. You can just cut it out manually. And it generally leads to like a much better I'll send you it like probably after we're done. It's pretty good. But I've been using it because it helps me with I don't have to go to the editor instantly, and I can just cut the portions out that I want, and then I can make like multiple clips, and then I can combine it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like an editor, but it's not an editor. It's very much like that. Anyway, so yeah, I am recording this, so hopefully a lot of this will be saved and it'll be salvaged. But yeah, do you want to say anything? Like, is there anything that like you actually are dying to get to mention or like to say? Because
not
we're
publicly, no.
We're almost at the end.
Other than
I'm actually gonna end it at
more
exactly 2 hours.
Yeah, I have.
No, the recording is 1:58 right now, so I'm gonna end it at exactly 2 hours. So an exactly 2 hour recording. So yeah, if you want to end it off, we have like 1 minute left. Is there anything you want to say? The legend of the Crimson Legend?
Nothing in part other than I just have 2 more videos coming out.
Oh.
Before I have to go back into.
You have to go back and what?
Hiatus of sorts.
Oh, really? Two videos.
A hiatus of sorts.
Are they premiere? I didn't see any premieres. So. Are they on your channel yet?
No.
Oh, you have to probably
Not
still make the
actually, no, not
metadata,
yet.
right? Thumbnail.
Yeah.
Well, he has videos if you guys want to check it out.
Like
Also, I think Manu released a song. I think I posted on my community tab. Yeah, he released that too. He might actually be a guest on our show soon, eventually. I'm actually thinking of doing something with him later on in the future. So we'll see. Not like later, like not like anything, but like I've been considering like, him being on the show and stuff. I think that would be really cool. To get like someone who makes music, composes music. So yeah. As well as like Legend, he's gonna be he's gonna be a mainstay. He's gonna be here with us pretty much for the entirety of the Trifect, hopefully. And so like, yeah. Basically, we're gonna get into season 1 pretty soon. I don't know at the beginning. I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna do or how we're gonna approach it, and we'll kind of make a consensus about it and what we're gonna do with it. But yeah, that's the introductory, the preliminary, like, you know, I don't know. We were kind of I don't know. This is a mishmash of various different things, but yeah. It's probably gonna make a lot more sense once the show actually releases, or well, you know, you'll be completely confused, you won't follow, but you'll generally get the idea. Each episode we have a topic that we talk about. In this case, the first, well, I guess the prologue is gonna be just us talking about ourselves, but after that we're gonna have an episode where we talk about animation, and then after that we're gonna have an episode that we talk about blah 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 blah, and web series and blah blah, you know, whatever. Not web series, but like, just we might have an episode where we talk about web series, or we might have an episode where we talk about mascots, or we might have an episode where we talk about XYZ. You get the point. So yeah, let's just end things off here. Thank you for coming on, by the way. I know this was on pretty short notice. I didn't even expect anyone to come. I was just like, this is a proposition. This is something that we should do. I was kind of, it was obviously this was very spontaneous. I didn't really think about this in advance. I kind of did this without any preparation, but I want to thank you for coming on, both you and Dr. Basketball. I know he's not here anymore, but his spirit lives on. And yeah, so yeah, I hope you like. I know you're working on some 3D modeling stuff, so I'll leave you to that. If you want to check out his channel, it's in the. I'll probably link it in the actual episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you sign things off and say your piece, whatever you want to say. I don't know. Do you want to say anything?
No, just watch out for new things.
Yeah. We got stuff that we're cooking up, I guess. Mostly Legend. He probably has more than I have going on, because I'm very much focused on just 2 things, which is this Trifect thing and something else that I can't mention because it's secretive thing. But that will come out eventually. You guys will see. Well, you will actually. You audience won't see it, but I will see it, and a lot of other people like Legend will see it. Everybody else will see it, but you guys won't see it. So, something similar probably. You know, probably Legend has a few projects like that he's kind of keeping under wraps for now, and we all have that. We all have our own little things that we do. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I know this was very scuffed and not really prepared, very unmeditated. I didn't really think about this a lot, but you know, we're visually here, I guess. We're on screen, we're talking. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah. Oh. Bye guys. Bye everybody.
Bye. All right.
Bye.